Welcome to the Profits of IT, the podcast where we sit down with the smartest people in IT and pull out insights that actually make a difference. I'm your host, Jim Punzenberger, founder and creator of the Managed Prospecting System. A quick word from our sponsor. This episode is brought to you by ManagedProspectingSystem.com, a proven three-pillar system that helps IT companies generate predictable leads through authority content, LinkedIn outreach, and targeted email campaigns. If you're done hoping the phone rings and ready for a real pipeline, head to managedprospectingsystem.com. And I'm excited about our guest today. He operates at a level where most people in our industry aspire to be. He's named one of the top 100 technology professionals globally by Icon Awards in 2003. Also, he survived the dot-com bubble bursting in 2000 and rebuilt from the ground up. He's just took a brand new role as the global head of sales at Synaccess, where he's building a channel program from scratch. Tracy Johnson, welcome to Profits of IT.
Thank you for the nice intro, Jim, and thank you for having me on your podcast today. I appreciate it.
Well, it's my pleasure to have you. And so let's jump right into it, Tracy. And specifically, I'd like to hear about your truth bomb, which you mentioned when we were talking before about it, and it stopped me in my tracks. You said the biggest misconception in the tech space is the belief that the industry is driven by innovation, and you believe differently. You want to expand on that?
Of course, and obviously innovation is a key part of it. We're in a bubble right now where AI and data center is dominating the conversation and cloud, and it's really the predominant areas of the technology world. So, what I was trying to say in that statement, Jim, is that, there's a way for a lot of companies aren't in a budgetary situation where they're able to really fully take advantage of the AI platforms. A lot of people aren't in the budgetary situation to move their business from on-premise to off-prem to the cloud. So it still comes down to the execution of what is my available budget, what are my relationships currently in this industry that I have, and who can I work with that I can trust in the trenches to be able to deploy and implement, a solution that will support my critical IT stack.
That makes sense. So, any um, other thoughts about uh, about that?
No, that's pretty much it. Like at the end of the day, I know that was like an attention getting response that I gave on that, so I figured you would lead with that. But, I think there's a lot of talk about AI, and obviously there's a lot of usage of AI. But, it still comes down to being able to implement it and be able to measure it and be able to effectively train your people on utilizing these different new platforms. And I still think there's a lot of ways to go on that as we are, still in the early stages of trying to fully understand the
Hmm.
impact of what that means.
That makes sense. So let's shift gears again here a moment and talk about your superpower. And Tracy, when I read yours, I had to reread it because it's not something that anybody has articulated in quite this way. You said that you're able to see the entire commercial system all at once, the technical constraints, the enterprise politics, and the market forces, the channel incentives, and the competitive landscape. And then you turn all those variables into revenue. Want to walk me through what that looks like in practice?
No, absolutely, Jim. That was a word soup I gave you for a response, but for a more simplistic way, I've been in there being around technology for 20 plus years of being around a lot of people that's a lot smarter than me in this industry, in my opinion. you're acting as a person that has to collaborate with the engineers to figure out what the products need to fit with the application, what solution goes with which application. So you have to understand that variable, right? And then from the customer's perspective, you also have to be able to listen and understand the client perspective of what do I need to support my application? What is that client's budget? What's their timeline? What's their rollout schedule, et cetera? And then just understanding who the competitive landscape is. The client typically is going to quote this out to up to three customers or three manufacturers or clients out there. So you also have to understand that, understanding the competitive landscape means that, hey, what's this client budget look like? Do we have a solution that we could provide that will meet their time frame? So what I was trying to say there is like when you factor in all of those different key variables, those variables are going to allow you to make a decision to be able to meet the client's needs. And a lot of times people miss that, either a client may be too much on the engineering side and they're just leaned so far into the engineering side that they're offering a solution that, yes, it meets the qualification of what they need, but it may blow out their budget. They don't have the money for it, or either they're not paying close enough attention to the competition and they may overprice themselves out the deal because they're offering a high-end, solution where
Mhm.
the client may have a mid-end budget. So that's ultimately what I feel I've gained a good grasp on my career, is just kind of just putting all of those forces together and understanding where to go as far as the next step.
I guess that sounds like very important to be able to do that.
Absolutely. Yeah, critical. If you don't understand where your customer wants and where they need to land on price and timeline, you're not going to win many opportunities in the technology industry.
That makes sense. So let's talk about $1 million learning moment that you had. And you mentioned that it takes would take us back to the year 2000. You were building the e-tail business for a company. Things were going well, and then the dot-com bubble burst. What happened there?
Oh man, that was that moment felt like, you ever went to Six Flags Great America, you get to the top of the roller coaster and it's like you're kind of bracing, and then
Yeah.
all of a sudden you get to the top, you going downhill for, it feels like 5 minutes, but it's probably just a minute. And that's kind of how I felt. I felt like I was on a roller coaster ride at the biggest roller coaster in the world. But it was tough. I'm a young person out of college. I'm my first big national individual contributor role. A lot of visibility on building the e-commerce business, and I was successfully doing that. And you come into the office one day, and one company after another is going bankrupt because they overspent at the time millions of dollars, $1 million for 30-second Super Bowl ads. What was a lot of money at that point.
Mhm.
Kind of a drop in the bucket now, but but you lose all of these accounts, and as a professional, you're kind of sitting there wondering, like, man, what's going to happen with my career? How am I going to replenish all of these accounts? How am I going to be able to replace that revenue that the company was counting on, and that was expected for me to deliver? So that was a moment that really just kind of like made me kind of bear down, and I had to, reinvent myself and focus on different types of customers, which luckily I had the skill set to be able to pivot to, and was able to, kind of rebuild my book of business. But that was definitely a period in my career that I've never experienced before. And it was completely out of my control. It wasn't like it was something that I did that caused it. It was just a moment that just kind of said, wow, this can easily come and this can
Mhm.
easily go.
Yeah, I hear you there. So, before we go, let's talk about what you're excited about now at Synaccess.
Oh,
Uh,
that's go ahead, sir.
so I hear that it's a brand new role that you just started, and tell us more about that and what's exciting at Synaccess.
No, thanks for asking, Jim. So, I mean, for me, I mean, been looking for like this my next role, and landed at Synaccess. It's organization that specializes in the PDU market, power distribution management market, and I just took on a role as global head of sales. So it's been exciting. This is my second week, and I'm just meeting all of the key engineers and kind of putting the final touches on our channel program, which we plan on rolling out either on June 1st or no later than July 1st, and just trying to reconnect with the partner community of people that I've worked with for many years. And in addition to trying to connect with a lot of new people. But what I'm excited about with Synaccess is the team there. There's a lot of former Meta engineer team leads that's at the company that's created a pretty strong product portfolio. So to me, they're the ones that's doing the heavy lifting. They've made an incredible product. Synaccess is headquartered out of Scottsdale, Arizona. We also have offices in San Diego, California. And really, what I'm excited about is offering the channel and enterprise, retail, data center, these different verticals, an alternative power distribution solution that has some strong functionality to be able to service their needs. And for me, I'm just kind of the architect coming in as a sales leader, trying to, build the relationships and just try to create that bridge between the partner community and getting the right people in these organizations to start collaborating with our engineering organization, which I think is top notch. Being here for a short period of time, we have some pretty strong resumes as far as our engineering organization goes.
Cool. So anything specifically that you think the partner community would be excited about?
Absolutely. We have a pretty aggressive partner program. It's a two-tier partner program right now. And at the first tier, a partner can earn 7%, by signing up for our channel partner program. And at the second tier, upon hitting a milestone, they can earn up to 15%. And
Oh,
so it's pretty lucrative, considering the product's average sales cost on a popular PDU is about $400 list price. you know, it's not going to take you a long time to hit the milestone, which I believe is 100K to get to that next tier. So we're coming out the gate offering a really lucrative partner program where many partners are only offering a few percentage points, and then they
hmm.
have to hit a big milestone to get to the next level to get a few more percentage points. The founder of the company, decided to come out the gate, uh, something that hopefully the partner community will embrace and reach out to me about.
Yeah, I mean 15% on hardware is not common.
Exactly. It's that's a software type partner program. So that's kind of how I'm looking at it when we start having these conversations. Like we're offering a software type incentive in a hardware category where margins are kind of constrained right now. And I'm hoping that will get the attention of the partner community, and and hopefully these guys will be excited not only about the incentive but a really high end premium product.
It sounds like a great opportunity. And if somebody interest has been piqued, how would be a good way to get in touch with you?
Absolutely, Jim. I mean, I'm on LinkedIn, obviously. So you're reaching out to me on LinkedIn at Tracy Johnson, my profile. Obviously, you can contact me directly. My cell number 480-476-5910, or emailing me at Tracy at synaccess.com. So we're ready to start having those collaboration conversations. And one of the other things I think is worthy of noting, Jim, on this is that we offer like a free demo program. So if a client wants to be able to test out a PDU and be able to see if it works for their application, all they have to do is to come to our website and fill out, some brief form or reach out to somebody on the team, and we'll be able to get them a product. And the last part I want to mention too is that we'll be actively building out a global channel team, um, probably more proactively starting in 2027. But the ingredients are there for success, and it's just exciting to join a company that's already ready to kind of thrust themselves into the channel, and the product and program and everything's in place. And now it's just about partner acquisition. So joining your platform with the amount of users and followers that you have is timely. So hopefully we can get some good traction and moving on this rather quickly.
I'm excited about it. So, any final thoughts before we wrap up here?
No, not at all. This Jim, I appreciate the opportunity. Speaking for myself and Synaccess, and hope that we could do this again and maybe check in and let you know how this has progressed in advance and the progress we made, and maybe mention some new products and solutions that we might be offering and adding to the portfolio down the road.
Sounds great. And until next time, if you're an IT owner and tried inconsistent or leads, looking to change that to predictable, consistent leads and revenue, that's why I built managedprospectingsystem.com. Go and check out managedprospectingsystem.com. And until next time, stay hydrated and caffeinated. Bye for now.